Alright, Street Fighter. For today's episode, I'm going to be talking about authorial intent, and, I don't know, the ways that overthinking how we do things makes what we make worse. Like, it's worse quality. It's over-accounting for things that don't really have to matter. Of course, every valid interpretation of a piece of art matters to some degree. Like, art is meant to help us understand the world, so there really should be no way that art is, wrongfully interpreted, in a sense. But in that sense, I do want to say that, as an artist, just to be careful of not over-scrutinizing the things that you do and the work that you make. It's very easy to become locked in that mindset when creating, especially if you fight with depression like I have, or other mental health issues. It's really tricky. It's easy to think that everyone's got it figured out, and that the way that somebody did something that you've interpreted to be super deep and interconnected was entirely on purpose. But the truth is that if you get that far into thinking that someone's entire catalog of everything they've ever made makes them like an auteur, and that they've perfected the process of creating things, then I don't know. I don't think that's a healthy mindset to approach to understanding art or understanding the people behind the art that gets made. Because at the end of the day, I don't know, Hideo Kojima is still just like a human being with a lot of ideas and the right resources to make those ideas come to life in the way that he wants them to. And that's great. And I understand the sort of status quo of people playing Metal Gear Solid and other games that had Kojima's influence, or maybe just were inspired by, and think that, yeah, I want to be a part of that, right? But as people just trying to make stuff, as even if you were Hideo Kojima, you still have the full reign and the full right to decide not to share something that you make, to make something that's not for other people. And if you're not making it for other people to begin with, there's no reason to sort of overthink it in the sense of, how does this all connect? It's very, perfectionistic, and I think it just sort of becomes a blockade to better works, to better creativity, and improving the process of how fast you iterate through things, how smartly you iterate through things, because sometimes iteration just has to happen. No good idea comes fully formed. You have to test around a little bit and poke to find to see what works and what doesn't work. So, I just say this more as a be kind to yourself kind of situation. Nobody has the ability or the power to think about our own art as much as we artists do. So why not just, take it down a notch? Because we're the only ones who have the power to think about what our art was supposed to mean, or what our art could have meant, compared to the ideas that we originally had to create it. And that these ideas got mixed in with other interpretations and feelings, and we changed as people as we made the works. And it's so easy to just get, lost in it, to really think that it's all supposed to be interconnected. I don't know. Chill out a little bit. Because the majority of people who see that work are not going to be thinking that deep about it. It's okay to make work that's supposed to be thought about deeply, and I think people really appreciate that stuff, but I don't think it's a healthy mindset if your goal is to create things, if your goal is to share things with other people in the world. It's a challenging process to begin with, so why not lighten up a little bit and don't focus so hard on trying to make it the perfect thing you wanted it to be. Only the die-hard fans who maybe figure out your music and feel like they've personally, spiritually connected with it in some way will go as far as you will, ever possibly, to imagine the ways that it could have been, and to not focus on the things that it already is, because each artist has their own story, and every piece of art has a limit to what it can say. That is just kind of the reality of it. And it is... you don't want to get lost trying to, you know, express every possible idea, because it's just not possible or feasible to do so. Like, as human beings, we cannot create an experience that tells every story. So you should focus just on telling your story in the way that you want to. And maybe not even the way that you want it to be if it's not there yet, but to express the way that you understand the world in this current moment. I think that's about all I had to say. Probably repeated a few things as I played, but it's the nature of playing a game like Street Fighter and trying to keep my brain going by talking at the same time. Anyway, thanks for checking in. No idea when the next one's gonna show up, but see you on the other side. Thanks for stopping by.